Let me tell you a little bit about the people.
If you could say who you are and just what you do.
Okay.
Right.
I'm Mary R. Portera, and I'm the director of River Gallery, and it's located in the Bluff Art District here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Of course, we wanted it to be successful, but as far as having expectations, we did not know what was to be, because each property was purchased as we went along. And there, as we've had visitors and people, that we've talked to, it looks as though it was a grand plan. Or this is how it transpired. First thing was the gallery, 92. The next thing was, this was August 92. May 93, the sculpture garden opened, the bed and breakfast opened, the first 3 rooms, back in cafe. And the next was Rembrandt's, 94. Tony's, 94. T.C. Thompson House with more bed and breakfast, 94, 92, 93, 94. All of this was under construction. Everything had to be adapted. Nothing was a restaurant. Nothing was a coffee house. Nothing was the bed and breakfast. But the bed and breakfast was probably more adaptable because all of these buildings in the district were homes. And I'll tell you a story. In the first group, the C.G. Martin House, it's actually named after the people who built the house and lived in it. The daughter and the son came after we had finished, or when we opened, and the daughter said, "Oh, my mother is turning over in her grave if she thought that somebody was staying in their bedroom." And then the C.G. Martin, Mr. Martin, worked for the bank that became SunTrust Bank that just recently went to Truist. So he was a major person there, and Mrs. Martin was very important in the community. T.C. Thompson House. He was a former mayor, T.C. Thompson. That's why that's named T.C. Thompson. And what my daughter did was, she decided, and this is Angela, the attorney, she did a lot of history. She loves history. And so she felt that it was very important to name the buildings after the people, if that was possible. And then when we did the bed and breakfast rooms, those people, the shakers and movers at that time, are who she named the bed and breakfast rooms after. Well, there was a woman who we admired greatly, who had the Plumnelly shop, but it is not the Plumnelly that exists today. It was a shop that was run by, there were 2 sisters. There was a woman up on Lookout who was a linoleum block print maker. And Celia, her sister, had the shop in Riverview. Well, we lived near where Plumnelly was, and so we would take the children in there. We'd go in as a family. You never left unless you learned about an artist or you learned about a process. And we purchased from her and over the years, and she didn't really care for me because I was tight with money, but my husband bought, so she loved him, but she didn't care really for me. But anyway, so I said, I will only do this gallery if I talk to Celia. So nothing to do but we go and talk to her. And she looked at me with the evil eye, but she was gracious. It wasn't that we were enemies. Anyway, she looked at me in the eye, which you don't want her to do unless she's going to tell you something serious. She said, "If you want to do it, you will do it." And one of the best compliments that I ever received was about 5 years later, when she came to the gallery. And she said, "Mary, you have done far more than I would ever have tackled."